Hi everyone, and welcome to Monday Night Stamping. This is the place where we get together and we chat, connect, and create, and it's just the perfect three C's, right? So it's a beautiful, beautiful sunny day here today, and the snow is melting. More and more of the grass in our backyard is appearing. So our backyard faces north, so it's the last to have the snow gone. Our front yard, most of it's gone now. It's getting there. There are puddles around, and we can sort of feel like spring is in the air. And fingers crossed, maybe we've had our last snowfall, and maybe spring is here. We can always hope. We know that it's going to be pretty soon anyway, even if we do get one more snowfall. So welcome. Today's date is Monday, March the 24th, 2025. And I like to come to you every Monday night. And I call it Monday Night Stamping. It's where we can share ideas and see new products in action, or old ones, or learn new techniques, that kind of thing. So let me introduce myself. My name is Lillian Kemp with Stampers Niche, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Spruce Grove, Alberta, Canada. So just outside of the city of Edmonton, for those of you who aren't from the area here. So it's an exciting day, or tomorrow, for Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, because many of us, if we weren't on stage at the big convention, we can start to pre-order things from the new annual catalog and some new online exclusive items that are coming. We can start tomorrow. We can also order the catalogs. So we're excited about that. So speaking of that, let's go down to my desktop, and I want to explain how you can get your catalog. Okay, so let's go down here, and forgot to cover up that. So busy trying to find the right button. There we go. So we're right here. And we'll just get this adjusted a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to dig down because I was speaking about the new catalog. If you live in Canada and you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would gladly give you a new catalog. Just contact me or go to bit.ly/2025 catalog with the Canadian spelling, or you can use your phone and scan that in. I will also have these links in my newsletter, and I will try to remember to put them in the description after tonight's class. So I see people loving the sunshine and longer days. Yes, there's that too, the longer days. I am absolutely loving that. It is fabulous. So one of the things that, of course, people tend to do at this time of the year is spring cleaning. And for whatever reason, I decided to clean my craft room today. My husband couldn't believe it because usually it looks like a disaster. And he went out to the gym this morning and came back, and he could see the back. He could see the top of my work table, the top of my desk. And we were laughing because then this afternoon I went to find something and I couldn't find it anywhere because I put it away in a new safe spot this morning. So it took me half the afternoon to find it. So I don't know about you. I do better sometimes with the mess. I can find things. I should not change the location where I put things away. I guess that's the thing that I should remember. So just a couple of things I wanted to bring to your attention other than the catalogs is the new paper pumpkin kit. Looks amazing, and you need to order that before April the 10th. So just go to my website and remember the 3 little lines. Click on that, go down to Paper Pumpkin, and you can subscribe there. So that is that. And then once you do subscribe, then you can get these add-ons if you would like. These are dies that would work with it. Are they necessary? No, but they're kind of fun to have. So some of the things you're going to see tonight are in the online exclusives. So you can find my online exclusives right here. And again, I will try to put that link in the description once this is over. So that's all the business I want to talk about right now, other than just making sure that I am on the computer screen. And then I am going to be working tonight with a bundle from the mini catalog, and it is called the Linked Together bundle. Now, I've shown you a few things from this when the catalog first went live, but we haven't really got up close and personal with it. So you see some great ideas here being shared, and then you see the bundle price here, or you can get the items individually. This is one of those bundles where each thing can stand alone. They are not contingent on the other, but they work well together too. So there's the stamp set here, and you notice this shaded area. It means that those words would fit into those shapes if you so choose. They fit into other die shapes and punch shapes as well, or you don't need to put them in a shape, but that's just a little clue that they will fit. All right, so there's the stamp set, there's the dies, so you've got almost a little bit of everything in here. Hey Mark, hello, so many of you popping on, excellent. And Sharon and Jean, and I saw, I think Linda there, and Gail, excellent. So we've got this trellis, which is really neat. We've got two shapes that we don't have anywhere else. Then we've got some twigs and we've got some flowers. So that's super. And then we have this. These are what's called masks, and this is what we're going to focus in on tonight. Now, each of these can be used on their own, or you can layer them on top of each other, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. So we're going to work with a monochromatic color scheme tonight, and I gave you the choice of these three colors. And this was the winner with this, the Lost Lagoon, coming in second place. So we're going to work with those. This project that we're doing tonight, you can do in any color. So thank you for helping me figure that out. So first off, let's take another look at my Get Acquainted sheet. So when the dies are cut, this is what they look like right here. And I just want to highlight this one a little bit. We're not going to use it tonight, but I wanted to share a few things about it. When you cut it out, it makes, I better move that. It also makes a square opening, right? So what I did with that is on this card here, I cut it out of this piece of basic white. Then I put some of the thoughtful wishes designer paper behind it and popped the die back in the opening so it looks like you're looking through the window. I haven't figured out what I would do for words here yet. I was going to put butterflies on here, but I'm right out of my butterfly embellishments, so I popped on these little birds because they just kind of fit. And these are the butterfly accents. They're the white. I should show you those. Where did I put them? That's a good question. Well, maybe I won't show them to you right now. Another thing got missing on my cleaning, but they come white, so you can see that they're white, and then you can just sponge colors on them, whatever you want. So that's how I made that card. And so you were giving me your opinion on whether this card front should go on white. This was yesterday's What Should I Do? You like that, Linda? I was really pleased with it too. I just might not put words on it. It would make a great sympathy card. I don't know. So then this also is when I cut this out. I cut it out again from, where is it here? From designer paper, and then I had these, so then I popped some in the holes. I wasn't patient enough to do all of them, but I thought just a few added some interest. So remember, you can always do some cutting out of designer paper if you so choose, and you are about half and half as to whether this should go on white or on black. So I will make that decision one of these days and finish that off and share it with you. So let's put that to the side here. Then I wanted to share one more thing. You can take this and I'm just going to bring in this designer paper because it's handy and put it over top. And then take the oval die and cut it out, and you end up, so here, that's what I did. You can end up with an Easter egg type of thing. So there's just tons you can do with this bundle. So now I have got, but what we're going to do tonight is we are going to zero in on the actual masks, because some people aren't too sure how they work. Now, you can store them however you want. They store perfectly in one of our stamp cases, and you get four stamp cases when you order them. So I love to use them for almost everything, as you know. Now, just a little hint, there's an instruction sheet, and it doesn't tell you a whole lot, but it does give you some ideas. Just place the mask over cardstock, fabric, or other material and add a little color. You can spritz it, you can sponge it, you can trace it, you can emboss it, and add texture using embossing paste. So, and there's little tips here and that kind of thing. So do take a look. There are 5 masks, and each of the masks has a little number there. See, there's a number 1, there's a number 2, whoops, upside down, and so on. So these masks can be used alone, and you've seen me use them often, or they can be layered. So there's this shape, there's this similar shape, just a little thicker, similar shape, just a little thicker yet. Then there's this, which is a little bit different, and this one, which is different. So you have seen me, remember when I made this card here, I used that top one just to add a little interest, soft interest in the background. So you've seen me do that. And I wanted to just share again how some of the other ones look. So let me just bring in this. So I think I was using Boho Blue, because I'm trying to use it because it's retiring and I love Boho Blue. So this was mask number 1. I put it down, I sponged, and that's what it looked like all by itself. This was mask number 2. So you can see that the white trellis is quite a bit thicker in mask number 2. And then this was mask number 3. Number 4, so you've got, they're sticking together here. Number 4, so you've got this kind of look, and number 5. So all of them look great on their own. So they can be used all different ways, and the more you start to play with them, the more ideas you will get. So those are those, and then here I used Balmy Blue and Azure Afternoon, and I used mask number 1 and number 2. And now you can see there's a bit of shading in the background. So here's a question. How many of you have used these masks or used any of the masks that Stampin' Up! Has? So on here, here's what we did with a bit of shading in the background. Then I added this on top. And then I added that just to show a little bit of variety. It is a great set of mask scale. It's so versatile. So you can, Stampin' Up! Also has masks that do trees and flowers and that kind of thing, and they are fabulous. But I really, really like how you can use these just so many different ways. So one of the ideas that they gave us in the instructions was to use embossing paste. So here you can see, I did this earlier today. So I just put the mask down. So you can see that that is mask number 4. So I put it down, get it lined up. And then I smeared the embossing paste over it, and then it needed to dry. So it dried, and then I washed this and the embossing paste knife right away. So this is the sparkly embossing paste. So look at the sparkle on that. And when if you could feel it, I wish you could, it feels almost like fine sandpaper. It's raised, so a great way to add texture to your card. And that's what I did on this card here. So I used number 5, and I've got just a bit of embossing paste here, and it adds that texture. And if you look closely, you can see, I think that was number 1 in the background. And these flowers and stems are actually from the dies, and the words are from the stamp set. So this card showcases all of those things. The other thing I wanted to remind you is that you can take designer paper, and you can also stencil on designer paper and make your own special designer paper. So those are just a few ideas of how you can use it. So let's get down to business and use it a little bit and see how it works. So I'm actually going to bring in a piece of grid paper, and I am going to bring in some white paper. Now, if I was filling the whole of this paper, I would put a little bit of seal underneath to hold it in place. So I would just put a little bit there and hold it in place. But I know that I'm only going to be using this section here. So I will hold it in place with a Post-it note or Post-it note tape or washi tape or something that's removable. And I'm putting the tape where I know I am not going to be putting any ink. So just holding that in place. This way I can turn it around. If I had glued it right to here, which I could, it would actually, you know what? I wanted to do something different here. I couldn't turn it around. We're going to make a really simple card to begin with, and we are going to bring in one of our note cards. So our note cards and envelopes, they come 20 to a package. They're already cut and scored, and they're a quick way to make quick and easy cards. So I'm going to put this here in the corner. And again, I just want, whoops, there. So we've got it fastened down. Now I'm going to bring in the mask and place it where I want it to go. So I'm just going to put it, the fold is here. So I'm just taking it up to the fold. Then I'm going to bring in a pen, and there's a little V here. So that's so I can line up the others if I want. I could just do one layer and not worry about it. But if I want to line up the other layers, this is going to be what's going to help me out. So now that I've got that in place, I'm going to hold that down too. Now, I have to admit that lots of times I get a bit lazy and I think, oh, I can just hold it with my hands. I don't need to use tape. But sure as shooting, it shifts at some point. And so then I am quite disappointed that I did that. So tonight I'm doing it the way I would advise you to do it. The other nice thing I found is that there's a nice wide border all the way around, so I can do my tapping off on the border and then come back and get that ink. Now this is my first layer. I want it to be light, so I am not pressing very hard at all. Just sort of a little touch. You can see that the plastic is picking up the ink, but now I've got this on the hinge, so I'm okay. You can see that it is pretty light there. I think it needs to be a bit darker, but not too dark. So, and what I'm showing you right now is that I can get the two colors with one ink pad. I could have also gone with a darker pink. This is pretty in pink. I could have gone with Petunia Pop for my second color, but I'm going to stay with Pretty in Pink. And I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to peel this off. I can reuse that tape. And I didn't mean to use that particular plastic, but that's okay. So now I am lining the notch up, and then if I do that, everything else will be perfect. So now I'm going to ink up my brush again, and I'm going to start off and I'm going to work it. I'm not going to press too hard to begin with, but this time I want to add more color. So I'm layering the color. And I find this so therapeutic. I quite like it. It's da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, you know, kind of thing. Now let's see, am I happy with that, or does it need to be a bit darker? Ooh, I think I'm happy with that. I'm going to peel that off and close my ink pad up. No, I'm not. I'm going to leave it there. Take this off, and now on my note card, I have got an interesting little background, and I've not added any layers at all. So now you can see how you could do a whole set really, really quickly. So then I'm going to bring in this stamp, and this is from one of my favorite bundles as well, the Textured Notes. So we're going to bring that in, and we're going to ink this up. And again, we're sticking with the same color of ink. And we'll just, put that there. There we go. We've got that like that. Now I'm going to clean this because I'm going to make one more card, and I want to use this, and it needs a different color ink. So just bring in my Stampin' Scrub and get it clean. And now we need some words. So let's look here. So depends what you want. Wishing you, I could use wishing you. I could use just a note. It's a note card. Maybe I should go with just a note. What do you think? There we go. We'll dip that in the ink. There, we've got it just like that. And then the nice thing about this stamp set here is, you know, wishing you a happy day, just a note, so happy for you, enjoy. You can do the inside and the outside, but I'm going to leave it just like this. I should have stamped the inside before I cleaned the stamp, but I didn't, so we will stop right there. And there, quick and easy little note card that has no bulk. You could add embellishments if you want it. And so now we are going to step this up a notch. So let's just put that over here. Now let's flip this over. We're going to bring in, what we're going to bring in is a die cut shape. This die cut shape is from the Textured Notes dies. And so this one is this one right here, the second largest. So we have die cut it. So this time I'm going to fasten it down here. And this is where we're going to do the Blackberry Bliss. That's the one that so many of you chose. So we'll bring in, so just in case you were wondering, this is the regular size blending brush, and this is the small. They both work equally well, I find. So how many of you enjoy using your blending brushes? Are you blending brush people or not? So what I'm going to do with this one, let's use two different ones here. Let's see, if I use this one and put the dots behind, it would look like that. Or if I use this one and put the dots, ooh, I like that. I think we'll go with that. Now, some of you might be saying, well, how do you clean these? I just go to the sink and run them under the tap. You could also use a baby wipe, but they just rinse right off because our ink is water soluble, right? So it's really an easy clean. And then I just pat it dry with a towel. Oh, Jean, you love using the blending brushes? I do too. I just love it. So now we're starting with our Blackberry Bliss card that many of you, and this is such a strong ink. I'm going to try to get quite a bit off on the edge here for our light layer. Once again, I'm trying to use one color of ink. Blackberry Bliss seems to want to be just a little bit sticky. I'm going to be really gentle. Just get a smidge here. Let's take a peek. Ooh, that's looking pretty, isn't it? I think I want just to go a little bit higher. Now, obviously, we could cover the whole card, but this is, I just wanted to show how you can go this way and do it. So we've got that, and then we were going to bring in this. Ooh, I forgot. I bet you I could hear you people saying, Lillian, the mark, the mark, the mark. I forgot to do the mark. Let's see if I can line it up. There we go. That is crucial because it's a little hard to do otherwise. So let's bring this in and line this up like that. Now we'll go just a little bit darker. Again, I'm going to tap the excess off on the edge, and we will add these little flower dots, dotted flowers, whatever. Let's take a peek. Oh, it's coming. And I think that's pretty good. Now those flower dots line up better with the number 1, but I used it on our first one, but that still looks good on here. So we can take our tape off, and we're going to bring in our leaf here. And just do exactly what we did on the note card. Ooh, look at that. That's striking. And again, we can bring in some different words. So let's see, would enjoy be too big? It's a bit big. Wishing you. We'll bring in wishing you on this one. How's that? I don't know about you, but I often play with my stamps when designing and then figure it out that way. There we go. And I can get rid of this now. Now, do you notice, because we use such a light touch, it looks like totally different colors than this, doesn't it? But it's all from the same ink pad. So we'll close this up. Close up the Blackberry Bliss. And we'll bring in some light Blackberry Bliss right here. And we'll just add a few spatters up here. Woo! That was more than I was bargaining on, but that's okay. There we go. So that was my blends that I was using. So we've got it like that. So now to put the card together. So I'm going to give us some space here. What we're going to do is we're going to have a thick basic white base. That's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So it's a half a piece of cardstock folded in half. So we've got that. We're going to put the Blackberry Bliss layer down, and we could go just like that. And we could have it looking like that. Or we could add a little narrow layer. So just before I do that, this is the biggest one from the textured die. So it's the biggest rectangle. So we've got the two largest rectangles here, and that's how they layer. They make a very nice border. So we've got those two. Now I brought in my color wheel, and I thought if I was to bring in another color, what else could I bring in? So I lined up my color wheel with Blackberry Bliss, and I could have gone this way or that way, but I decided to go sort of in here, so our Gorgeous Grape would have worked, but they're suggesting Berry Burst or Fresh Freesia as a complementary color. So I cut two, and I need your opinion. So it's going to layer on the white, and would you like to see just a little tiny bit of Berry Burst like that? Or would you like to see a little tiny bit, of Fresh Freesia? So Berry Burst or BB or Fresh Freesia, FF. Yes, Catherine, so glad that they listened and they heard all of us saying we need the basic, the 8.5 by 11 and thick basic white, and they are bringing it back. So it likely won't be visible in the new annual catalog, but it will be online and it will be available because we asked. So there you go. So Fresh Freesia FF. Okay, I got talking, forgot to look. So the Fresh Freesia it is. Let's put this card together. We're just about there. I love seeing how you can get so many shades or tones of one color from one color of ink. We do that when we stamp off, but with the blending brushes, we can do it too. So what I'm going to do with this piece is I'm going to glue it down because this one's going to go on dimensionals. So I'm going to glue this one down first. And hang in there till the end because I've got some more samples of this same layout. Then we've got this. We'll put some dimensionals on the back. Now remember, use your edges, and you can snip them off, but you can also tear them off. They work very well that way. Oh, I just saw some other samples that I was supposed to show you. I'll show you them in a minute. I had too many ideas for this. That's what had happened. And then I had to figure out how to narrow it down so you could follow me. So there you go. So there we've stepped it up. So here it was, one layer. We have all this interest going on, but it's one layer. And here we've stepped it up a little bit. Like that, and we need some embellishments. So let's bring in our embellishments. Now I've got a couple to choose from here. We have the two-toned sparkle gems, which I love these because they pick up pretty much every color that they go with. And then there are the transparent adhesive back dots, and they have a blue. Ooh, I think I know what I want. All right, do you want the Blackberry Bliss dots or the sparkle gems? Blackberry Bliss dots or sparkle gems? Oh, you guys are loving it. Oh, I'm so glad. Oh, Joan, you've never used a blending brush? You have them? Oh, you really need to play. Start with a very light touch. And then you can always add more, but it's just a little hard to take it off. So which gems? The Blackberry Bliss. Okay, Blackberry Bliss it is. We will go with that. And let's just scatter a few of them on. And then I've got some fun ones to show you. Let me just see. You know me, this is the hardest part, to decide where to put the embellishments. I'm going to put it right there and be done with it. There we go. So here was the simple version. Here was a little bit stepped up. And oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to stamp the inside before I clean this stamp. So it's been sitting there a while. So I'm going to huff on it. Just breathe heavily. And then add a little bit to the inside. And I did it without re-inking, and there you have it. Okie dokie. So that is how I have been using the stencils like that. Now I wanted to also show, because I know a lot of you are working on Easter things. Oh, no, I'm going to show you that in a minute. I wanted to show you other versions of this card. All right. So here it is done in the night, or this is Misty Moonlight. This one here. So the same card, and you can see on this one I used the other embellishments. Isn't that neat? And you can see the shading here. And this one here I used Basic Beige and Night of Navy, and then the Spotlight on Nature. And then on the inside I did this one here. So I did the die cuts again because I'm just loving those die cuts. So let's just tuck that in. Then because Lost Lagoon came in a strong second, I wanted to do something with Lost Lagoon. So I did this one here. So again, you can see the dots and the 2 layers here. But instead of stamping, I used the dies. And so these are the dies from there. And then I started out, I was going to stick with, you know, Lost Lagoon flowers. And I thought, oh, I just have to add a little color. So I brought in the Thoughtful Designs specialty designer paper. I love die cutting out designer paper, especially when I'm doing flowers and that kind of thing. And this designer paper is variegated, so it depends what section of the paper you use. Yes, Gail, Spotlight on Nature is definitely a keeper. Both the dies and the stamp set. I just love them. So that's what I used for this. And then I added a little bow. But again, this is all the linked together. I didn't use anything else on that one there. And then this is one I received in a swap. So you can see the stencils being used here. And the word enjoy and the oval and the flowers. So I just love how that was Donna swapped that one there. And then here's one done with Coastal Cabana. So you can see, and the triangle right there. So I have tons of other samples, but I wanted to stick tonight to ones that were using the stencils. So those are the ones that went there. So now here's a good question for you. Which of these colors combos were your favorites now that you see them in action? And while you're typing that in, I just wanted to remind you, you can use the stencils and the oval and create your own Easter eggs. And then afterwards I embossed this one, and then I found an oval in Unbound. It's one of the dies that starts with a U, and did that. And then so there's this one. So I was having a lot of fun with the stencils, and you could do all kinds of little things. But do you have a favorite now of these? So there's Pretty in Pink, Blackberry Bliss. Here's Coastal Cabana. I forgot that one. What's that one? Misty Moonlight, Night of Navy, Lost Lagoon, Coastal Cabana. So I think this shows you could do it with any color you wanted. And what I was doing was trying to look and see, what color haven't I used recently? Or what color combo have I seen somewhere that I want to give a try? So here's a question for you. How many of you have these stencils, these masks, and how many of you have played with them. I would love to know that. And then also remember, if you are wanting any of these supplies or any information, please reach out and contact me. And of course, as always, the project sheet or PDF for this card will be in my Thursday newsletter. So make sure that you subscribe to my newsletter and you will have this all. But really, you could just cut a rectangle, you could just start playing and have a lot of fun with this. So take care and have fun, and thank you for joining me tonight. Bye-bye.